My name is Michael Tortoni. I'm the founder of Melbourne's legendary jazz club, Bennett's Lane. I've recently moved to the very cool Brunswick. The Jazz Lab here on Leslie Street, Brunswick is Melbourne's new home of jazz. In my old club, you might have seen Prince for a late night set, or the Wynton Marsalis Band, or even the Harry Connick Jr. Trio. My new club will also host stars of contemporary music, starting with the Bill Frisell Trio for the Melbourne International Jazz Festival, as well as local stars. So drop in for some great music and a drink at the Jazz Lab.
My name's Leslie. I have been with Moreland Family Daycare as an educator for over 36 years, I think. Family Daycare is a wonderful organisation. We look after children in our own home, they blend in with the family, and it's fantastic.
I love Family Daycare.
I can choose my own hours, very flexible. I've made wonderful friendships with lots of the families. I'm now looking after children of the children I used to care for. The children just growing and developing is a wonderful experience for me every day. I'd recommend Family Daycare to anybody and everybody. Oh, where's my Scouty snuggle? Where's my Scouty snuggle? Can I have a Scouty snuggle? How's your tea party going?
My name's Hilary. I've been with Moreland Family Daycare for 8 months now and I absolutely love it. The main reason I started with Family Daycare was to be with my little one. Family Daycare is a small environment, so mostly I only have 4 children and it's in a home. Moreland have been really supportive of the whole thing and they helped me find children when I first started. There's so many benefits of working Family Daycare and becoming an educator. Working in your own home, flexible hours, also just watching the other children grow and being such a part of their life. I recommend to educators that want a good life balance if they have their own child. Family Daycare is a great avenue to go down.
Hey Moreland, today I'm down in St Kilda for the Midsummer Pride March supporting the LGBTQ community. It's a beautiful day. I'm proud to be here representing Moreland, walking behind so many wonderful dedicated people. This march goes towards exactly what our values are. At Moreland, we're one community proudly diverse.
More pride! More pride!
More pride!
More pride! More pride! More pride!
We are having lots of fun. I like playgrounds too, even ones with very big slides. I like the monkey bars and I like the knots and crosses. I like the monkey bars. I like the clocks. We are having lots of fun at this playground. Bye! Bye!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name's John Kavanagh. I'm the Mayor of Moreland. I know you've tuned in to watch us propose the budget. Currently, we don't have a quorum of councillors. We do believe that in a few minutes' time we will, and so at 6:05 we'll come back on and hopefully have a quorum of councillors and begin the council meeting. Thanks for your patience.
I'm Haikal Raji from A1 Bakery. We've been in Brunswick since 1992. We specialise in Lebanese bread and pastries. We've also introduced a range of Lebanese dishes to our menu. And we've also got a wide range of Lebanese groceries. We like Brunswick because it's very multicultural. Me and my siblings have been here a majority of our lives. This is our second home and we like to treat our customers as our own family. We're very proud in what we do and how we do it.
G'day guys, my name's Chris. I'm here from Moreland City Council just to show you a bit about this tractor and how it works and what we do and how we get around and cut all the grass on the ovals. How's that? Is that better? You want to play tag with the tractor? Your teachers will find it out. Thank you very much.
Goodbye. He's going through the bump. There he goes, through the gate.
In 2009, Council began research and consultation to identify the key challenges in sport for women and girls within Moreland.
The review identified several issues.
There was a serious lack of female competition and teams. Only 8% of participants using council sports grounds were female.
To address this inequality, Council introduced a policy to encourage clubs to be more inclusive of women, juniors, people with a disability and people from culturally diverse communities, or risk losing an allocation of a ground to a club that is being inclusive.
Female participation has now increased by 161% in Moreland.
West Merri-bek Football Club is proud to align with Moreland's policy.
This year we successfully launched the club's first ever under-12 girls footy team.
We're changing our club.
We're changing our culture.
I'm changing the game.
So I'm Claire Johnston and I'm an accredited cricket bat maker and the first female in the world. I learnt how to make cricket bats from Ian Cullen. There's a lot of bats out there for men and I felt that there was an opportunity there to actually work with women to make better bats and to actually make them for their style. So recently I was commissioned to make 5 cricket bats for the Pascoe Vale Headfield Cricket Club for their under-13s girls cricket team. And yeah, to see their faces when they were given the cricket bats was just brilliant. So what I'd really love to be able to do is to keep working with my local community, the local cricket clubs, particularly the women, and yeah, work to make great cricket bats.
My name is Michael Tortoni. I'm the founder of Melbourne's legendary jazz club, Bennett's Lane. I've recently moved to the very, very cool Brunswick. The Jazz Lab here on Leslie Street, Brunswick is Melbourne's new home of jazz. In my old club, you might have seen Prince for a late night set, or the Wynton Marsalis Band, or even the Harry Connick Jr. Trio. My new club will also host stars of contemporary music, starting with the Bill Frisell Trio for the Melbourne International Jazz Festival, as well as local stars. So drop in for some great music and a drink at the Jazz Lab.
My name's Leslie. I have been with Moreland Family Daycare as an educator for over 36 years, I think. Family Daycare is a wonderful organisation. We look after children in our own home, they blend in with the family, and it's fantastic.
I love Family Daycare.
I can choose my own hours, very flexible. I've made wonderful friendships with lots of the families. I'm now looking after children of the children I used to care for. The children just growing and developing is a wonderful, wonderful experience for me every day. I'd recommend Family Daycare to anybody and everybody. Oh, where's my Scouty snuggle? Where's my Scouty snuggle? Can I have a Scouty snuggle? How's your tea party going?
My name's Hilary. I've been with Moreland Family Daycare for 8 months now and I absolutely love it. The main reason I started with family daycare was to be with my little one.
Well, good
Family
evening.
daycare.
Good evening, councillors, members of the gallery, and especially our viewers live streaming tonight's meeting. My name's Councillor John Kavanagh, and I'm the Mayor of the City of Moreland. It's my pleasure to welcome you to tonight's council meeting. Our meeting is being held on the traditional lands of the Wurundjeri people, and I wish to acknowledge them as the traditional owners. I'd also like to pay my respects to their elders, past and present, and elders of other communities who may be here today. I acknowledge that currently many Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people have made Moreland home, and in doing so they have contributed to the positive, rich diversity of this municipality. Members of the gallery, please note that this council meeting is being recorded and web streamed live on council's website and Facebook. This recording will also be available as video on demand. Gallery attendees are advised that they will be recorded during this meeting. Councillors, a reminder that in line with our adopted councillor conduct principles and outlined in our councillor Code of Conduct, councillors should ensure that they conduct themselves at this meeting with integrity, impartiality, impartially exercising their responsibilities in the interest of the local community, and not to properly seek or confer advantage of any person. This behaviour will support the principles of leadership and good governance that secures public confidence in the office of councillor. Councillors who are in attendance tonight, to my far right we have Councillor Helen Davidson and Councillor Jess Dorney, the Deputy Mayor, Councillor Natalie Abood. Over on this side we have Councillor Dale Martin and Councillor Oscar Yildiz. Officers in attendance, we have the Chief Executive Officer Narina Di Lorenzo to my immediate left, and then we have to my far right Grant Thorne, Director of City Infrastructure, Arden Joseph, Director of Social Development, Kirsten Costa, Director of Planning and Economic Development, and to my left we have James Scott, Director of Corporate Services. We have Olivia Wright, the Manager of Property and Governance, and we have the Acting Executive Manager of Organisational Development, Tina Paris. All right, so apologies, councillors. I know we have already granted a leave of absence to Councillor Carly Hannon between the 3rd of April and the 26th of April inclusive. Councillors, are there any other apologies for tonight's meeting?
Councillor Riley.
We have Councillor Mark Riley, an apology. I think I also received one from Councillor Ali Afanli. Any other apologies received? And I believe Councillor Bolton will be late but is making her way. All right, so we've got Councillor Riley and Councillor Afanli. Do I have a mover for that? Sorry. Yeah, moved by Councillor Martin and seconded by Councillor Yildiz. I'll put that to the vote, the acceptance of that. All those in favour? Against? Declare that carried. Sorry. All right, disclosure of interest or conflicts of interest. Are there any to disclose tonight for the item that's on the agenda? There being none, I'll move on to the next item, which is our presentation of our officer report. Just see Councillor Bolton's about to make her way in, so I wait for her to arrive so she can be involved in the report. Welcome, Councillor Bolton. No, very well, thanks. Good. Councillors, we have one report to consider tonight, and that being DCS 1818, Proposed Moreland City Council Budget for 2018 and 2019. Do I have a mover for this report? Moved by Councillor Dale Martin.
I'd just like to move a slightly amended version, just a very tiny tweak in the report. And that is just changing number 7 there to just add in design as well as construct. And if I have a seconder, I'm able to just talk to that one just briefly.
Fine. Do I have a seconder for Councillor Martin's motion? We have Councillor Dorney. Yes, Councillor Martin.
Thank you. So again, just moving a small amendment just to ensure that it was signalled in here that if we have the opportunity, if we do get the approvals for the top 10 bike projects in Moreland, that we're actually delegating, so we're authorising the CEO to be able to bring forward construction of some of those projects. And in particular, I decided just to add in there design and or construct, just to finesse those words ever so slightly.
Thank you, Councillor. Would you like to speak to the budget?
I mean, I'd love to.
You're welcome to start and do that.
Just touch on a few things. I think it's fantastic budget. Yet again, we're looking at $40 million in capital expenditure. We're continuing to plant 5,000 trees. We are continuing the amazing work and some of the fantastic stuff that we've put into the council plan. We'll continue that great work and some of the great feedback that we're getting from the community. It's really great to be receiving that. I think also as well, great to note that we'll be putting on extra planning enforcement officers as well as part of that. So I know quite a few residents have been quite interested in seeing more planning enforcement. I should also note as well that we are continuing to recycle in Moreland, and despite of the national soil policy over in China, it is resulting in a slight increase in recycling costs, and so we're passing that through, but we're keeping it quite small. It's only around about $20 for an 80-litre recycling bin per annum to households. So we are trying to keep on top of that while maintaining recycling in the municipality for residents.
Thank you very much, Councillor. Would the seconder like to speak to it?
I obviously echo Dale's comments. It is looks, for my first budget since a councillor, it looks great, and there has been a lot of work that has gone in, a lot of thinking that has gone into it. It's great to see things like the food strategy, funding going into that, reducing carbon emissions and doing our bit to try to reduce global warming through the Zuki funding. There's obviously the Bikes Accelerated Solar Program. There's lots of great programs that are being funded through this budget, and I'm looking forward to hearing what the community has to say.
Thank you, Councillor Don. Would any of the councillors like to speak either in favour or against the proposed budget? Any councillors? Councillor Davidson.
I'm happy to just add a few words to note, and I think it's important that the community know that there's going to be no new borrowings required for a capital works program, as Dale mentioned, of over $40 million. So we've been able to budget and work our finances so that council is not borrowing any money based on that. I'd like to thank the council officers for all their hard work and the councillors for their innovation and their thought that has gone into crafting this. It's something that I'm particularly proud of, sitting here on council, to see the work and the strategies that are really going to transform our city. Some of them are very innovative. So thank you, officers.
Any other councillors like to speak? I'd like to just say a couple of quick words. Yes, I endorse the comments that have been made by councillors so far. I also do want to emphasise that it is a proposed budget and that we are receiving written submissions right up until 5 p.m. on the 24th of May. It's been encouraging over the last number of years as a councillor to see more and more people getting involved in this process of submitting their thoughts on the budget prior to its adoption. So I encourage all people watching, either here or by live streaming, to get involved, to look at the budget when it's put on the website, and to have your say in what you'd like to see in the budget. Those submissions will, anyone who makes a submission is able to then verbalise their submission to the councillors in a meeting on the 28th of May at 6 p.m, prior to the adoption of the budget, which will take place on the 25th of June. So there's still time to have your say. Can I say just one other thing about the budget? One of the highlights for me is that it finalises the biggest project ever in Moreland's history, which is the Oak Park Aquatic Centre. So, but we'll have more to say to that, or I'll have more to say to that at the time of the adoption of the budget. As the mover, Councillor Martin, did you want to say anything else? All right, so there being no more discussion, I'll put it to the vote. All those in favour? All those against? Declare that carried. And have it as unanimous, please, for the budget. Well, thank you, councillors. There's no other items on the agenda tonight, so I'd like to declare the meeting closed, and I thank you for your attendance, and I thank the viewers at home for watching, and particularly those who have come into this evening. Thank you very much. Have a pleasant evening.